right.
We created the Truth, Hope, and Justice Initiative to support and mobilize mothers across the country who've lost loved ones to unjustified police violence in America. Our mission critical at this historic moment is to advance productive, real-time solutions together, united as one. What you are about to witness are the compelling stories and the human truths of mothers and a curation of dynamic and inspirational tributes. So we invite you to join us, walk with us, rise up and stand with us, together, united.
Tonight is going to be an incredible night. We're going to have live performances, special guest speakers. We're all here to honor the mothers who have lost their sons and daughters due to police violence. This is a cause that's close to me and my organization, mygood.org. We have teamed up with Truth, Hope, and Justice, who's putting on this event, to fight for justice for the families and for the victims. So now let's hear from the mothers themselves.
I left for work that day with the expectations of giving my daughter a party. And instead I had to come home and start planning her funeral.
To this day, I can still hear her telling me that my son is dead.
They literally pulled Gary and drug him to the side of the road as if my baby was roadkill.
He got shot 3 times in the chest. I wanted to see him just to hug and kiss him, tell him that I love him.
He shot my son as he sat in the driver's seat 14 times. He never made it out the car.
He was trying to climb a fence, to get away, and the police shot him in the back.
Kimani was my only child, and I watched him die in my arms. It took everything in me to just breathe. I didn't understand. Every day I am reminded when I look in the mirror that my son is not here. It's just a lot of days without him. I feel lost.
That was my everything. And to lose him, it crushed me.
We were just a close-knit family. And, by Angelo's gone, it's like, ain't nothing right.
That was my first child, my firstborn child,
You think of your children burying you. You don't think of you burying your children.
She was a strong advocate for the underdog.
He didn't want to party and hang out. He wanted to be married.
He was very quiet. He had this very kind of reserved old man spirit about him.
He worked a part-time job at a local nursing home.
The last thing I told her was that I loved her. And I got to hear her say she loved me too.
The only thing you have left is to fight.
So when you see the rage and you see the fury, and I'm out there on the front line at every single march, that's what's instilled in me from justice.
My fight continues not only for Gary, because it's bigger than Gary. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than all of us.
Speak up for your child. Step out for your child. You let everyone know, nationally, internationally, you're not taking it sitting down.
I'm not one to believe that all policemen are bad policemen. I just don't believe in that.
It's not the officers, it's the system.
How can we work with law enforcement? How could we ask you to stop killing our kids?
It just doesn't always have to end up where some mother is, grieving for her child.
I could never tell a mother that it's gonna get better, because it's not gonna get better. It get worse.
This is a pain that I would never wish on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish on anybody to have their child taken from them.
You watch as people normalize it and they say it's okay, it's not okay. And so I want every parent to know, no, this is no time to shut up. You speak out for your baby.
I will fight for my child with my last breath.
There's no peace or rest for anybody anymore.
We are grateful and honored and blessed to have a collection of speakers from all walks of life. They're here to help us rise up and stand and give a tribute to our mothers.
My heart breaks for these mothers and for these families. It's incredibly disheartening to look at the state of the relationship between Black people and the police in America today and not see much change from decades past. These mothers and these families have continued to fight for justice long after their loved ones' names have disappeared from headlines. And what they all wanted is police reform, transparency, and accountability.
We have to come together. We have to work together. We have to vote. And we have to lean in, and we have to hold people in power accountable. The murder against our children must stop now. And we, working together, we have the power to do it. We can't save your children. We can't bring them back, but we can deliver them justice and make sure that others don't suffer what unfortunately you are suffering through right now. My thoughts, my prayers, and my support are with you 1,000%. Now, Michelle Obama, she said it best in the 2020 Democratic Convention.
Our young people are desperately fighting to pursue their dreams. And when the horrors of systemic racism shook our country and our consciences, millions of Americans of every age, every background rose up to march for each other, crying out for justice and progress. This is who we still are. Compassionate, resilient, decent people.
You don't need a law enforcement-centered approach towards creating public safety, because that's law enforcement coming in making arrests is like performing surgery on a patient. It's the most expensive, most evasive thing that you do that you pretty much want to avoid. If you want to have a healthy community, good education, good prevention methods, good intervention methods. The enforcement piece is the last piece.
This is unacceptable, that the deaths that are occurring are unacceptable. We need to understand that that's someone's child, and that person can never come back. And for me as a mother, I couldn't imagine it. I can empathize only as a mother, but there's no way that I could understand the grief that these mothers are going through. And so as a mother, I say, keep your child's spirit alive and your movement alive, and continue to make us feel the emotion that we hope we never ever have to actually feel personally.
To all the mothers who have lost your children to this horrific violence, especially those who have lost them to the hands of police, I charge you to rise up strong. I charge you to let your pain push you to your purpose to continue to stand up in this society and to have the determination to dismantle the systems that allows evil to reign, to think that somehow we got accepted. I challenge you to build an army of righteous indignation in the name of your children, so that together we can walk across this country and we can save the children here before us today from becoming tomorrow's victim. We lost our children, but we refuse to let children continue to be lost in this country. Finally, know that your children, they sit in the grandstands of heaven, smiling and are proud of you, and say to one another, look, there's my mother.
Before I start, I just wanted to take a moment to dedicate this song and this performance to all of the mothers around the country who have lost children and loved ones to police violence. You are truly opening the door for us to be able to have conversations that can bring about lasting change. And so I thank you from the bottom of my heart. We all thank you. We owe you a debt of gratitude. We love you. We appreciate you. You have our support and you have our service. God bless you all.
And when the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting harder to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet, and move mountains. And our eyes like the day I will rise up. Our eyes aren't afraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again for you. That we have each other, and for that we have each other. Yeah, we will rise, and we'll rise I like the waves. Spite of the ache, 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up high like the waves. We will rise in spite of the ache. I'll do it again and again and again for you. Do it 1,000 times again. We can rise.
We are asking you to walk with us, stand with us, support our mothers. The Truth, Hope, and Justice Initiative, our objective is to advance civil rights in America. Our call to action is to support the Justice in Policing Act, the first ever bold, comprehensive approach to holding police accountable and changing the culture of law enforcement. And if we change the culture, we'll ultimately save lives and end police brutality in America.
But now I'm found was blind, but now